I think there should be a little bit of a return to modesty, and I'm not the only one.
I agree with
we have here Daniel Crittenton's What Our Mothers Didn't Tell Us, Why Happiness Eludes the Modern Woman. Also, Maggie Gallagher's Enemies of Eros, another book. Women have been writing books about returning to modesty because they think women are too over-sexualized in our society, and it is hurting them.
I agree. Tony, let me tell you something. I actually hear women say to another woman, oh, that dress makes you look so sexy. I don't want to look sexy. I want to look pretty. I want to look feminine. I want to look shapely. I want to look...
Right.
I don't want to look sexy.
Fit,
I want to look fit. Why do I want to look like a sexual object? But that's all society wants us to do.
Paula, I have a pop quiz for you. I want to put you on the spot. See how much you know. If you don't know it, that's fine. But you were in the Vagina Monologues 3 times. I have a quote for you.
Okay.
And I want to see if you can identify the author of the quote. So a little pop quiz. No, if you don't know, that's fine.
Okay.
Here's the quote. The quote, there are a lot of women who think their vaginas are made of platinum. Do you know who said that?
I think I said that.
Damn, she's good. Paula Young said that in January 2004 on Men's Net, right? Now here's the copy of the play. Show me the chapter that says my platinum vagina. It's not here.
But you know what? I got to tell you something. Your initial beginning said that women use their vaginas for power, blah, blah, blah. There's an old joke that says the nice thing about being a woman is you can be a whore because you got it, you sell it, you still got it. It's a nice thing. Having a vagina does give me a certain amount of power. I gave birth. That is the greatest power. Somebody helped. But I don't think in general women use their vaginas to do this to men. They don't.
All right, I want to quote from Laura Kipnis, who wrote a book called The Female Thing, which I recommend.
The Female Thing?
The Female Thing. She writes, among other things, the big problem with highly valued vaginas is that the more they're overpriced, the more theft-prone they become. It's a tremendously provocative thing for a feminist woman to say, because she's putting women on the spot to take some responsibility for the sexual violence. There is an imbalance of power between men and women sexually. And isn't that part of the story, if we want to talk about right? But that's not here. That was my...
But Tony's point is, if you're walking around high school with your breasts hanging out, don't be surprised if somebody's going to think that you're trying to sell sex to him.
Why do women dress like that? Why do that?
To get men's attention, because women think that that's all men want.
Yeah, but just because someone is walking around with their breast out, maybe in this country it may be horrible. It may be seen as looking like a whore. But it may not be so. That maybe they're totally thinking that's what they wanted to wear today.
But well, wait a minute. Don't they believe?
Maybe they wanted to wear.
Tanya, don't they believe in truth in advertising? Because if that's what they're doing, they're advertising, and they're being taken at their word.
Well, that's like saying a woman deserves to be raped because she has on a short skirt. I don't think so.
Well, no, but the thing is that she's putting herself in more jeopardy by doing so, and that's not smart.
Why should she be censored to what she has to wear and how she should wear?
Because welcome to the real world. Men have to watch themselves too when they're walking into a bad neighborhood. Men are much more likely to have violence inflicted on them than women are.
I'm going to have to agree with her here. Now, I was told by women I know who are Muslim when I travel in the world that burqas are there to protect them, to protect them against men. And I'm like, because the men can't control their urges, and that seems a bit unbalanced. But there's a difference between wearing a burqa and wearing a skirt that shows the pubis. That's obscene. I see that all the time in New York City. I agree that a return to modesty is not a bad idea. And if you're telling me you're a feminist, then show me what makes you a female. Like, I am tired of going to National Fill-in-the-Blank Country Day. What are you proud of? I'm not proud of the fact that I have a vagina. Just what happens differentiates me from you.
Fine.
I'm proud of who I am.
Perfect. But if you're saying that vaginas are the source of women's power, and if you acknowledge
you're saying that.
You acknowledge that too.
To some degree.
To some degree. Then a play about women's vaginas is to some extent flaunting that power, yes? No?
No. I think it is teaching women to grab that power.
Right.
That's what I think.
Oh, that's a good thing?
I didn't say it was a good thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just telling him what I think that's for.
Okay. I'm still, Tony, a little bit at a loss as to why, there are things that are really anti-male, draft laws, child support laws, I mean, this is ultimately just a play. It is just a play. And the point of a playwright is to provoke debate, to provoke discussion, to get us talking. Why can't you not say, this Eve Ensler did a great job because we're all here talking about her play? Yeah?
Tony, you're saying it shouldn't be in schools is like saying that Mark Twain shouldn't be in schools.
Oh, no,
No,
I
but
don't
it's
think you
sort of
want
a
to
little-
compare that to
Yeah,
Mark
no,
Twain.
You're right, but you know what? It's censorship to any degree is bad.
No, I'm sorry.
Any degree
No,
is bad.
in a school setting with underage children, there have to be some guidelines.
But-
They shouldn't have the freedom of speech that adults
Their
have.
parents, well, no, they should have the freedom of speech in their home and in their school. However, their parents should be teaching them that this is really
Inappropriate.
nonsense. Inappropriate.
But they
And that's
were
the parents'
defiant of the
fault.
principle, and that's why I think, that's the only reason why I think they should have been chastised. for
Thank you, that's right.
Well, they did go-
were
because
They were warned.
insubordinate.
If they weren't warned, that's different,
But
but they
they
were
probably-
warned, and it is, the principal's job is to look out for the interests of the other kids.
I agree.
And that's the
they
only reason
also
why.
they did a monologue that makes them sound like a bunch of trollops.
We're running out of time. I want you to have an opportunity to just tell what happened after you got involved with it and did a show about it, and there was a reaction. And I wanted just to have a chance to talk
Well,
about the
I
reaction.
went to the second school meeting they had on it, and what the school had done is they dodged a bullet. Instead of talking about Eve Ensler and the play and men's and women's roles and sex and all that stuff, they made it a freedom of speech issue. And they did that intentionally. They wanted to diffuse the whole situation. They did it when Eve Ensler wasn't in the country. They had 3 girls weren't there. The principal wasn't there. And I got up and I told the panel of experts that they did that intentionally.
And
They
how-
dodged a bullet.
And how did people react to what you had to say?
Well, they didn't care for it, but that's usual.
And were you, I mean, you did get a reaction that, I don't know whether you want to start to talk about it on the air, but when your show was played, did you got calls, or is that something you want to mention?
Oh, yes, we did have our phone lines. Is that what you're
No,
talking
I'm
about?
asking you
Yeah,
about this because
yeah.
the ironic thing is that people who say they're dedicated to free
Right,
speech
right, exactly,
didn't necessarily like Anthony
What
Nazzaro's
Mel
free
was talking
speech.
about is after our show aired, after this incident, our phone lines were bugged. They were, what do you call
that's
it?
interesting.
Yes, they purposely clogged our lines.
Well, that's because they don't want you to have free speech.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like you're
So
saying
someone
that
else
high
can.
school girls shouldn't
Right.
have free speech. I'm just saying that the bottom line is this. We have junk in society and we have quality in society. I would love to be able to live long enough to read the classics, and I won't. Why are we wasting our time reading the Vagina Monologues?
Well,
It's
you
really
just-
a
you just
play.
compared it to
Now
Mark
we just
Twain.
went back to freedom of speech here.
I'm thoroughly confused.
I'm just saying, this is Pop-Tart.
okay.
This is Pop-Tart. This is not a roast
I am
beef
thoroughly
dinner.
confused,
That's junk.
and this is a
Why
good-
are we wasting?
Yeah, but that's a good question upon which to end the show because
Okay.
we're out of time.
Oh, darn.
Okay, but
Very
I
darn.
thank you, Paula Young.
Thank you, Mel Feit.
Thank you, Tanya Cooper.
Thank you.
And thank you, Tony, for participating in a lively discussion about the Vagina Monologues. We thank you for watching Men's Net and for supporting our show. And if you'd like to help out here, come down, be a part of what we do in the studio. You'll be welcome. Thanks for watching. See you next